On me. Let's get one thing straight. This is Shooter's tour. I've worked hard my whole life, paid my dues, and now it's Shooter's turn. And Shooter's not about to let his reign at the top be spoiled by some freak sideshow clown.
Did you just call me a freak?
Well, I'd like to see you try. Let's do it then. Hey, I'm in on a golf course.
Hey!
Trying to reach the green from here, Shooter?
That's not possible, sir.
I beg to differ. Happy Gilmore accomplished that feat no more than an hour ago.
Well, moron, good for Happy Gilmore. Oh, my God!
Vincenzo'S Gold Crypto Investing, where you like, subscribe, and share for a one-of-a-kind, company-made, computer software trading probability-based, trading alert, technical analysis, and company philosophy, as I'm your most trusted source for blockchain technology and cryptocurrency breaking news and coin updates here on YouTube and in the cryptocurrency sphere, as I brought truth and, most importantly, integrity back into the trading market. And for my United States people, justice moves slowly, but justice prevails. After 103 years, the Supreme Court, and some breaking news here, has struck down a New York law, a New York state law, New York City, and 7 other states, communist states, Delaware, Massachusetts, California, right? Shit like that. To where you had to give a reason if you wanted to carry your firearm outside the house for self-defense. And the Supreme Court obviously said that's unconstitutional, because why are you not allowed to defend yourself outside your house? Why do you need to either A, have a bunch of money, B, be a politician or a public figure to be able to have armed bodyguards, or just arm yourself to protect yourself, right? These communist mayors, governors, and presidents that say it's bad for the average American to have the right to self-defense outside the home, but they're defended by 15, 20 armed people at all times, right? And these same people, sports figures, all these assholes and charlatans, and congressmen and senators, and governors, right, that come out and say, oh, this is bad, that if you're a law-abiding citizen, you can you can use your Second Amendment right for self-protection, right, and protect yourself. And like, especially a city like New York, a cesspool city like New York, where you get on the subway and you're getting robbed all the time, murdered, raped, all kinds of violent crimes happening through that cesspool of a city and the surrounding areas. But they don't want you to have the right to protect yourself, because the criminals are already doing it, right? They're criminals. By definition, they don't follow the fucking law. See where I'm going with that? So these politicians, and like the sitting mayor in New York, communist, bent out of shape because he's mad that now the criminals aren't going to have the upper hand, right? Because they're the only ones that have weapons on the streets, because law-abiding citizens don't want to end up in jail. And just like that sitting mayor that is actively fighting so you can't have you can't protect yourself outside the home, and even inside the home, some of these crazy communists are. He never is out in public without A, a gun on his side, or B, a gun on his side, and armed security all around him, right? They're charlatans, they're scumbags, and they're fleece heisters and shysters, and they are part of the criminal gangsters. But as we get on from that, I just was, it took 108 years, so as you can see, justice does prevail, but not often quick enough, right? A lot of bad things can happen if there's a bad law that comes out and they wait 108 years to overturn it. But that law is gone, and every other state that had that gone, right? So a small victory for freedom. But you can see the Bitcoin price now, which you guys are all here for. As you can see, we were in this since the swing low. We were in this rising channel, and we're still sort of in it, right? We attempted to break down and got supported again on the old all-time high, right? And then we kind of back tested the last time we talked last night. But my video I made going to the bowling alley, it didn't record. So I don't know. I don't remember what video I said this on, but when you come down and do this, often, but not always, you come up and you back test the old upper resistance. If this was a real pattern breakdown, you come to support, you back test, you ride it up, and then instead of jumping back in to that channel, right? Instead of getting back up in there, you get rejected. See how you got rejected? You get rejected, and then you trade back down to the underneath support. You could bounce a little bit there, but if this is a true confirmed breakdown or breakout, then you come back down to your next underneath support and maybe eventually all the way back down to that technical target. If this is a rising channel, which it appears to be, and it's trying to break down, instead of getting back in it and doing that, you would come down in this little mini rising channel, and then you would meet your technical target, and then you could try to double bounce back up, right? So that's what you got to look for in Bitcoin right now. I'm still at work. You can see you got that $19,893 support. If you break that, your next level of support would be down here at 19,200. And then if you can't hold the top part of that white support zone, you're coming all the way down to your swing low of the other day, right there at $1,706, right? So that's what you got going on there. If we look at what's next, Luna, I told you guys not to buy this, right? Told you not to buy this. If any of my audience bought this, shame on you, right? Because the classic of this token went bankrupt, and all these, I mean, I just don't understand what goes on in this crypto market. It's I don't know what's going on with this either. It's just insanity, the kind of fleece heisting and shysting, and the moon boy, and I'm gonna get rich, and the irrational thinking that goes on in this market, right? I told everybody not to buy this. Do not buy this. When it was all up here, even though it was sitting here at $4, it went to like 10 and a half or 11. I said, do not buy it. If you bought it, swing trading it, when you make a profit, get out, because this thing is not going up there. When this thing was sitting all up here on its IPO, I said it's going to zero, or essentially zero. And here's what this coin's going to do in its history. It's going to sit there like this. And then it's going to go even lower, right, all the way to the zero line. This is a junk coin. It's a charlatan that came out with this, the first Luna, which is now Luna Classic, which is, if you had any money in there, you've lost it all. And this guy's a charlatan. Stay away from that. Shame on you if you didn't listen to Vincenzo. And unless you were swing trading it, hoping for a 5-hour profit, shame on you for buying that, right? Ethereum Classic, because I hope you sidestep and Audible, the criminal gangsters and market manipulators that have infiltrated the Federal Reserve, the United States government, and world monetary and fiscal policies that drive this nation, right, in this country. And I hope you sidestep and overt and sovert the soverters and overters and fleece heist and chist, the fleece heisters and chisters, right? And I call it the charlatans and the YouTube snake oil salesmen and the rest of them. And you can see now in Ethereum, you can see the rings has been coming down. And I told you when this was at 4,500, I didn't know when it was coming down, but I knew it was coming down, right? It had to come down. And now you're sitting at that $1,034. And Bitcoin's going to eventually hit that 13,336 target that I got. And then Ethereum from a long time ago, we had a $500 right here, the top part of the white support zone, $500 price target, and then a 275 major target, right? And we were calling for that when the price was in here, when the price was sitting there, when we had the bear market rally up there, right there, right now. We told you this price was coming way down, because if you look at the volume indicator, that 456 to 500 is in between the major buyers and sellers here, and then the next major area was down here. That's why we had a $500 target, and it coincides. It was down there earlier if we would have got there quicker, but it's on this green ring. But I think you're coming to $500, and then eventually to the bottom part of that white support zone, and then a cataclysmic event and a crypto liquidation of the century, as I nicknamed the start of this year, this was going to be crypto liquidation of the century, right? This could actually come all the way back down to the mean, what it was back here before that massive pump, right? So we're going to watch out for that. If you can get a little bit of support on here, you can try to bounce up to the 169913 from the old consolidation breakdown. See that if we zoom in to the hour time frame. This old consolidation up here, see that? Pretty easy to see. If we can hold this green ring, you can make a run back up here at the old consolidation where there would be heavy sell pressure, and that would be kind of a classic hook-nosed Jew bearish reversal pattern, right? So that's what we're looking at there. Cardano, it's Cardano, like I said yesterday, Doge sneaks in there. XRP and XLM are all in the same area, so you can watch these three to see which one reacts first, because look at them. XLM, XRP, XLM, XRP. They're in very similar areas, and XLM, you're either going to make a run back up at that 200-day moving average and then try to break north of that, where your major upper resistance, let's put one of these down, would be over here at 16 cents. And then your next major upper resistance, let's get rid of that, it's an old perching tool. Your next major upper resistance would be 23 cents, and any kind of pump would be as high as you get, but you're not going up there anytime soon. But if you want to try to get short-term bullish, this has got to get above the 200-day and the three moving averages that are there, the 50, the 100, and the 200 in red, blue, green from bottom to top respectively. And then you can try to make a run up here, and again, that would be kind of a classic hook-nosed Jew bearish reversal pattern, kind of like that, right? Or you're going to get rejected by these moving averages, bouncing around, and eventually flash down into here, the 0.07, right? And XRP is the same thing. We can pull some of these price targets over now because the price isn't there. You got your major upper resistance is the bottom part of this white support zone sitting up here at 53 cents, right? And then you got the 37 cents from the old consolidation zone, right? If you can bounce up into here and get to the 200-day, that's a great spot for it to get rejected, and it could come up here pretty quick. That's about a 15-16% move. Or if it gets rejected by these moving averages and never gets up there, it's coming back down to retest at 28 cents, and then that is the top part of the last line of defense, aka get my shit together to the shit house. And that's where you'd have to really get your shit together. You're going to flash down and hit that 18, 19 cent target that old Vincenzo's had since XRP was at $1.69 and rising, right? Took a long time, but it got there. I kept you from getting fleece heisted and shysted if you were in profit way up there in all these coins. Old Vincenzo don't tell people what to do, but he strongly suggested thinking about maybe doing and selling these coins up there, because I knew it was coming down eventually before they made any kind of new highs on all of them.
I beg to differ.
Right? And you can see this, if you can get above the 200-day and hold this old supply zone, right? You get on top of this, get on top of the old supply zone, come back and back test this 37 cents, but hold it as support. You could make a run up here to that 53 cents, but that's a least likely solution. The most likely is if you bounce down the top part of the shithouse or the last line of defense, you come up into this area, the old rejection zone where all the buyers are trapped. It comes up into here, and there's a wall of sell pressure, and then it drives you down, right? So those are your two options: 28 underneath support, 37 overhead resistance, 53 on any kind of crazy, phenomenally fabulous pump. That's where you'd get out if you were playing that. I wouldn't be playing that. I'd be looking more at the 37 cents on the rejection point and 28 cents on maybe some brief support, right? And then the same thing goes for Cardano. You can see it's in between the shithouse and Cardano and the last line of defense to the shithouse. And it's the same thing as XRP. If you can bounce up and get to the top part, the bottom part of this last line of defense, right now you can see rejected, 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 because when you're coming back up into these old support areas, they become resistance. And you're going to get, it's going to be hard to get above this, but if you can get above this and hold it, you can make a run up into here eventually. Or you're coming down here, which is a big fall to 31 cents, and nobody wants to be part of that unless you're shorting it on the way down. Like, subscribe, and share. Use my links down below. Help support the channel. Members of Jabroni Killer. Peace and love. Peace and love.